So I think there was a time where I felt that as long as I lived life for Jesus to the best of my ability, that things would go well in my life. I learned that that was not the case for certain. And there was a period where things really started crashing down. In 2005, my youngest brother committed suicide. A couple years later, we had a series of events in that year where several people, some of my closest friends, lost their sons. And I think at that time, something started happening in me where I started really having a lot of anxiety and fear. A lot of those moments of trying to figure out, what is this life all about? And I thought I had thought about those things a lot, but I think when you lose people close to you, it starts to put things in perspective a little more. And I think you think about it a little bit more. So those were a few really hard years. And unfortunately, life was really busy as well. I think I started getting off the trail a little bit. It's easy to become distracted, and I was doing a lot, I was busy, and I don't think I was really taking as much time as I should to really be doing things that would fill me up spiritually. And I remember finding myself at a place where I really didn't know what made me happy anymore. When I would think about, well, what brings me joy, because I had read a book called Leading on Empty that talked about being intentional about doing things that will fill your cup, because a lot of things that you do are emptying your cup. Another thing that ministered to me was the book Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. And I remember specifically the phrase that he said in one of the chapters that said, "You'll never know that God is all you need until God is all you have." From that point on, everything in my plan included more time in the Word, more time in the Word, more time in the Word. I mean, I rarely miss spending that time with God in the morning, and it really has become my greatest joy. I call it my coffee time with God. I get up in the morning, I make my coffee, and I go up there, and it's like I sit with Jesus. I don't know if you've seen the movie A Beautiful Mind, but there's that one scene where Russell Crowe walks into the room and there's like papers tacked to the wall everywhere. And that really kind of became my life. I had scripture everywhere. It was stuck on my mirror. I have probably 1,000 note cards, I still have them, where I just wrote scripture over and over, and I carried them with me, and I stuck them on my steering wheel, and I looked at them when I was driving to work. I have learned along the way through a lot of difficult things and a lot of great things that I've rediscovered what fills my cup, and I give myself permission to be intentional about doing those things. So in the book of John, Jesus says, "In this world you will have trouble." And we were living that. But sometimes I think it was forgotten that the second part of that verse is, "But take heart, because I have overcome the world." And I think that's what I learned. The more I was in scripture, the more I began being disciplined about having my quiet times on a regular basis. And I started learning more and more that it's true, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. He who began a good work will complete it. That, all of the things that I had read and hidden in my heart all those years, that, they were the fulfillment of His promise. He has overcome the world, and if I just walk in His ways and live by His promises and trust in Him with all my heart, I can overcome anything.